Sounds like he wants you to go and capture Vladimir Putin. Would you ever order a mission to go and capture Vladimir Putin?
I don't think it's going to be necessary. I think we're going to have I've always had a great relationship with him. I'm very disappointed.
President Zelensky said that he was watching with the rest of the world as you made this order to go and capture Nicolás Maduro. And he said, if that's how it works with dictators, then the United States knows what to do next. Sounds like he wants you to go and capture Vladimir Putin. Would you ever order a mission to go and capture Vladimir Putin?
Well, I don't think it's going to be necessary. I think we're going to have I've always had a great relationship with him. I'm very disappointed. I settled 8 wars. I thought this would be in the middle of the pack or maybe one of the easier ones. And I don't know if you know, Peter, the last month, they lost 31,000 people, many of them Russian soldiers, and the Russian economy is doing poorly. I think we're going to end up getting it settled. I wish we could have done it quicker because a lot of people are dying, and mostly soldiers. You know, they get hit in Kiev and they get hit a little bit here and there, and people are dying there too. But largely, it's the soldier population. When you have 30,000, 31,000 soldiers dying in a period of a month, 27,000 the month before, 26,000 the month before that, that's bad stuff. So, as you know, President Biden gave $350 billion to Ukraine to fight, and we would never get that back, although I did make a rare earth deal to get it back, so we will be getting it back, but shouldn't have done that. It was a bad thing to do. I will say that right now, because I was able to get NATO to up GDP from 2% to 5%, NATO's got a lot of money, and they're paying for everything. We're not losing any money. We're making a lot of money, I guess, if you think of it, because we're selling them military equipment. They're probably giving it to Ukraine. But we're selling them to NATO military equipment. We're getting full price and all of that. But that's not a big deal to me. What is a big deal is stopping a war where 30,000 people are being killed every single month.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is playing with fire. After the U.S. captured Maduro on January 3rd, Zelensky begged Trump to capture Putin indirectly. Zelensky made a stark, cryptic reference to Putin. He suggested that if a dictator like Maduro could be seized, then the United States knows what to do next. A comment analysts widely interpret as an indirect signal aimed at Putin, though Zelensky stopped short of naming him directly. Days later, he again made a similar demand.
This time, Zelensky demanded the U.S. to capture Putin's close aide and Chechen warlord, Ramzan Kadyrov.
Zelensky begs Trump for abduction of Putin aide. Chechen warlord haunts Zelensky? Ukraine's bizarre demand? Zelensky risks Putin and Trump anger with fresh abduction demand? Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made a bizarre demand. He wants the U.S. to capture Russian President Vladimir Putin's close aide, the head of Russia's Chechen Republic, Ramzan Kadyrov. Zelensky urged the U.S. to kidnap Kadyrov, claiming the move would send a strong message to Putin that may eventually lead to the end of the war. Zelensky suggested that the kidnapping of the Chechen warlord would supposedly speed up the negotiation process. The Ukrainian leader told reporters that Washington has the tools to apply pressure on Moscow that could send a powerful message to Putin. He added that the U.S. did it quickly with Maduro. Well, let them carry out some kind of operation with Kadyrov. He also suggested that such a tactic could influence the course of the war. The Chechen leader was quick to shoot back. Kadyrov delivered a blistering response to Zelensky and called him jester. Kadyrov, Putin's staunch ally and one of Moscow's most feared commanders, ridiculed the idea, accusing Zelensky of cowardice and insulting Ukraine's own negotiating credibility. His response was raw, direct, and laced with threats, hinting that anyone who tries to reach into Chechnya from the outside will find no escape. On the night of January 3rd, the U.S. military launched a covert op in Venezuela, bombing Caracas and staging a raid to capture Nicolás Maduro and his wife. After Maduro's stunning capture, Zelensky made a stark, cryptic reference to Putin that has sent shockwaves through Washington and Kiev alike. In reaction to the U.S. operation, Zelensky suggested that if a dictator like Maduro could be seized, then the U.S. knows what to do next, a comment analysts widely interpret as an indirect signal aimed at Putin, though Zelensky stopped short of naming him directly.
Well, what can I say is, if you can do that with dictators, then the United States knows what to do next. Thanks. We had many meetings in Europe and the United States. Today, there are 18 national security advisors in Ukraine. And for us, it was an important moment and a point from which we will start moving even faster. And I think that on the diplomatic track, I think you have all seen this over the last month and a half. And why are we moving even faster now? Because we have shared all the documents with all the advisors, the package of documents that we have, both those that are complete and those that are still being finalized. We expect that this further work will now take place in the capitals of European countries, as well as Canada, Japan, and other representatives of the coalition of the willing. All of this will be refined during our meetings, and throughout January we are not allocating a great deal of time for this process. I believe it is very important for us to formalize our steps in some form of declaration, because the security guarantees themselves, the document, will be ratified by the parliaments of the countries participating in the coalition of the willing. I very much hope that we will be able to finalize certain elements during this meeting. In principle, this is the #1 task, to finalize the document on security guarantees for the coalition of the willing, to prepare it as one of the bases for discussion with the United States of America and President Trump. This is the document that is ready from the Europeans. Regarding Venezuela, how should we respond to this? Well, what can I say is, if you can do that with dictators, then the United States knows what to do next. Thanks.